What if one day, everything you depended on was gone, and all that remained was the silence of what you destroyed? You see this picture? A single image with 1,000 meanings. A man sits under the only tree left in a field he once filled with green. His axe lies beside him. He looks tired, perhaps even peaceful, but the silence carries a heavy truth. This is the story of Tomas, the woodcutter, and the day he realized that sometimes what we call success can destroy the very thing that gives us life. Once, Tomas lived in a quiet village surrounded by an endless forest. Every morning, he carried his gleaming axe on his shoulder, singing songs of freedom and purpose. The trees were his livelihood. They gave him wood for warmth, food for his table, and money for a comfortable life. He worked harder than anyone, and he was proud of it. But he didn't realize that every swing of his axe took more than just a tree. Day by day, the forest grew thinner. Just one more, he'd tell himself. I'll stop after this one. But one more always became another, and then another, until only a single, solitary tree remained. Exhausted, Tomas finally dropped his axe and sat down beneath that last great tree. For the first time in years, he wasn't working. He just sat, and the wind gently brushed his face. The leaves above him whispered, almost as if the tree itself was trying to speak. He looked around, really looked for the first time. There were no birds singing. There was no endless sea of shade. There was no music of the wind rustling through a million leaves. There was just silence, and in that silence, he finally saw the truth. He had destroyed the very thing that had given him life, purpose, and peace. A pain filled his chest, not the ache of tired muscles, but the deep, hollow ache of regret. He whispered to the empty air, "What have I done?" Days passed. He couldn't bring himself to cut down the last tree. Instead, he started a new routine. Every morning, he would simply sit beneath it, thinking, listening, and learning from the silence he had created. He began to understand that the forest wasn't just a resource for his work. It was his home, his companion, his soul. One morning, some children from the village found him on his knees, planting tiny seeds in the barren ground. "Why are you doing that, old man?" they asked, full of curiosity. Tomas looked up and smiled, a soft, gentle smile they had never seen before. "Because," he said, "I want your children to have shade, even if I will never get to sit beneath it again." Years went by. The forest began to return. Slowly at first, then with more confidence, green shoots pushed through the soil. The birds came back, their songs filling the morning air. The rivers seemed to sing again. And under that same old tree, a new generation of children laughed and played. The man who once took everything had learned how to give it all back. This story is a powerful reminder for all of us. Don't wait until something is gone to realize its value. Whether it's the nature that surrounds us, the time we have, the love we're given, or the people in our lives, the very things that protect and sustain you today may not be here tomorrow if you take them for granted. Learn to stop, to see, to be grateful. Because sometimes what remains after all your hard work is not success, but a deafening silence. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. If this story sparked something in you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more daily motivation. We'll see you in the next one.